Hello everyone, welcome to the Grand Prix Podcast. I am, as always, Elton. This is, as always, Andy.
Hello London, do you read me? Over.
Yes, you're coming through perfectly clear.
Yes, we've got an extra long bit of string this week.
What's going on?
Well, you know how we planned for me to fly out to the Chinese Grand Prix to be a man on the ground and actually record live? Which we thought would be a cool idea, you know.
Tread on like Ted's toes, etc.
Exactly, you know. Literally, I was going to run around and chase him in his shorts. But when I got to the airport, I accidentally turned left at the gate instead of right, and I kind of ended up in America.
Yeah. Okay. You just went there to be thrift, didn't you?
Thrift?
Yeah, or touched up, touched down, padded up, padded down.
Oh, there you go. I thought you said Swifty, and I was like, what?
No. The rubber glove, that's where you went for.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. You know, I come for that, but I stay for the service.
It's just that snap, isn't it? It's like, all memories. So you're in the America.
I'm in their Americas. I'm in the colonies, yes. I'm currently speaking to you from New York City.
Wow.
Live from New York. It's the Grand Prix Podcast. We should have started with that.
We should have, yes. Oh, well, I should have come along with you and we could have done it together.
Well, you could have, because I'm at Sean and Melissa's place from the Question Podcast.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Jeez. Okay, right. One day we will.
Yes.
Definitely. We'll take it on tour.
We'll do a New York recording of the Shonky Lab or something, yeah.
Yeah, because that way I can do the Shonky Lab, but do it late at night in England, but it'd be mid-afternoon in America. Be perfect.
It would be pretty cool. It's a lovely sunny day here as well, which is amazing. I've just been to a deli. I got myself a sub.
Yeah. You're already turning into an American.
I've not said have a nice day to anyone yet, though. So
have you not?
Safe there. No.
Has everyone else said it to you, though?
No, not really.
Oh, okay, fair enough. It's one of them myths that never really happens. Yeah. They just squawk at you instead. Okay, so what we're here to talk about is the Chinese Grand Prix that we just had. Which, initial thoughts on that, Andy, if you would be so kind?
Initial thoughts on the Chinese Grand Prix, just watching what I saw of it. I thought it started off very well. It was really entertaining for maybe the first third. Mm-hmm. And then also the very end, I thought was really good. There was a bit of a lull in the middle.
Right, okay. That's fair enough. For me, I thought the whole weekend was really, really good. As a 3-day spectacle, I thought that was really good. Yeah. I agree with you.
Well, let's qualify that. There was quite a bit of non-running over the weekend.
There was, but I kind of like it. I don't know what it is. I get more fascinated about the talking about the cars not being on the track than watching the cars go round on the track.
Yes.
Do you get that?
It is fun just listening to what would be Crofty and is it Davidson or is it Paul di Resta?
Oh, it was Paul di Resta.
Oh, well, still. But usually when it's Andy Davidson and Crofty just kind of shooting the shit, that's always fun.
Yeah, bring back Anthony Davidson. Come on, guys.
Yes. Well, we can't because, he's actually racing these days because, he's still good.
Oh, God damn it.
Sick burn.
Well, Paul di Resta, he's still is it test driver for Williams? Or third driver for Williams? I think he's a third driver. Yeah, he is.
Oh, well, yeah, maybe.
So if something happens, he could be in there.
Could, yes.
But, they didn't decide to have him in that car.
I was going to say, they did turn around and say we'd rather have Massa, who's retired, who've already given a car back.
Yep. Yeah, that was their decision.
Yes.
As a whole, I thought it was quite a good weekend anyway. I do agree with you with the race. A little bit of a lull in the middle, but overall, quite satisfied with everything.
Yes.
Are there any news things to clear up before we get into this?
We need to get some sort of jingle up for news, I reckon, but we can worry about that later. The big bit of news was the Malaysian Grand Prix, I think. They've announced that they're going to be ending the contract early. So this year will be the last Malaysian Grand Prix.
Okay.
How do you feel about that?
I don't mind the Malaysian Grand Prix. It's just become part of the circus now, hasn't it?
Yeah.
But I like that. Will I miss it?
Well, they're bringing the German Grand Prix in its stead, so we're losing Malaysia but getting Germany back.
Where? What Germany, though?
I still think it's going to be swapping between Hockenheim and Nürburgring.
Right, okay.
But they basically said they're replacing the Malaysian Grand Prix with the German Grand Prix from 2018 onwards. So that's potentially good.
Okay. Yeah, I feel there's too many samey circuits like the Malaysian Grand Prix, i.e. like
It's
the
the
Chinese
Tilke
Grand
ones.
Prix. Yeah, the Chinese circuit is that-esque, isn't it? So
Yeah.
I feel what we've got with the Chinese, we won't really lose, because if we lose the Malaysian, okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
But I've enjoyed my time there, shall we say.
Oh, yeah. And the MotoGP race is still going to be on there, so it's not like people who... It's not there's going to be any racing going on there at all. It's just not Formula One.
No, that's right.
Which is our remit is Formula One, so who cares about those other things?
Yeah, that's right, yeah. Claire Williams has announced that she's going to be having a baby boy in October.
Ooh, there you go.
So there you go.
Yes.
Good luck to them. What else have I seen? McLaren. They said that they were 3D printing stuff at the circuit.
Ah, that's interesting. It doesn't surprise me. I mean, they 3D print stuff up on the International Space Station, so...
Yeah.
Speaking of McLaren, I mean, I think we mentioned last week that McLaren had spoken to Mercedes about possibly securing a new engine. Mm-hmm. This week it came out that Honda have apparently been speaking to Sauber about possibly supplying them with an engine.
For next year?
So, no time frame has been specified.
Okay.
But I would have thought it would have to be next year, since Sauber's also said they couldn't run this year's Ferrari engine even if they wanted to, because the mounting points are completely different and they have to rehologramate the chassis, which you're not allowed to do.
Yep.
So, yeah. I reckon you could get a couple of spacer bars or something like that, get the old grinder out.
A couple of shims.
Where there's a will, there's a way. Bit of duct tape. Duct tape will sort it out.
Well, yeah, duct tape, some self-tapping screws, nutserts, you'll be all right, I think.
Yeah, I think they're overplaying it a bit.
Yeah.
But, yeah, that was... that. I think that was all the big news really to come out between... I mean, it's only been a week, hasn't it?
2 weeks. But...
Oh, it's 2 weeks, yes. It's a week between this one and Bahrain. But...
Yeah, but McLaren was trying the T-Wing as well.
Yes, they got
car.
Some sort of a T-Wing
They
thing.
They look like coat hangers now. The McLaren one did.
I just don't like the T-Wings.
No.
Why? My views on the billboards are widely known and on the record. And the T-Wings are just the shitty cherry on top of a turd sandwich cake.
They are. They're the day one patches, I feel.
Yeah. You know what they remind me of? Do you remember those like beanie caps with propellers on them and really old cartoons and stuff like that?
Yes.
Like those.
Oh, man. Wow.
Or, I don't know if you had this when you were a kid. Did you have like one of those... I think it was a ski lift. So you had like the skier would do the lap, and then at the end, a hook would hook onto the guy and take him back up to the top of the mountain, and then he'd go around again. And the T-wings look like, some hooks need to hook onto them and lift the cars up onto the top of this hill, and then they race back down again.
Oh, yeah, I know exactly what you mean, yeah. Yeah, they do, yeah.
Are you listening out at Liberty Media? If you're going to have these things, make use of them.
I think I'm in favour, after this weekend, of looking at the cars.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the barge boards are all right, some of them aren't, and I'm getting a bit fed up with seeing them. If your car is so slippery and so good, why does it need all the barge boards? I know you're deflecting air around the car to be used and utilised in other places, but...
Well, it's only there because it's allowed to be there. It's literally someone forgot to put it in the regulations. You can't have anything there.
I'm in favour of getting rid of all of it.
Yep.
Really am. I think the cars would look better without all the flicks and tricks.
Yes. Cleaner.
Yeah. So maybe that, but they're not going to listen to us yet. Anyway.
Yet. Soon.
Yeah.
Soon.
Okay. Well, that's all the news. I think. I'm sure there's loads that we missed.
Oh wait! One more bit of news.
Oh, okay.
Pascal Wehrlein said he was not taking part in the race this weekend because he's still struggling with fitness. So he was not going to be taking part in the Chinese Grand Prix weekend at all. So they drafted in Antonio Giovinazzi again.
Okay, yes. Now, before the race, I was thinking, okay, maybe they'll keep Giovinazzi. And, that was my cat.
Maybe less so now?
Maybe. I think we'll get to that in a second. But,
yes.
If you hear a cat coughing in the background, that's my cat, by the way. I just thought I'd let you know. But he's here with us in spirit. Or
hopefully in body as well.
Only just. Only just. Do you reckon we'll see Verline maybe next race?
Well, I was watching, don't know what I was watching. I think it was the midweek review. And they brought up a couple of interesting points. They're all fiercely defending Verline as being, it's the right choice doing it. I still maintain that if he was in a Mercedes, he'd be fighting a lot harder, at least publicly, I think, to be in that car.
Mm-hmm.
I think he would be, because he himself has declared himself unfit. He's not been written out. It's not like medics are saying you can't do it. He's taken the decision himself. And I don't doubt that he's wrong when he says he doesn't think he could do the race distance. But I think back to like Senna in Brazil in, was it 92?
Yeah.
No, 90. Is it 92? The one when he literally got out of the car and collapsed.
Oh, hang on. Brazil, was it?
Yeah, it was Brazil.
91.
That was 91. I think back to Mansell again in the early 90s. I think back to in the past when generally the drivers were not as fit, but still the cars were a lot more physically demanding.
Mm.
And it wasn't unusual to see they get to the end of a race and the drivers have to be helped out of the cars because they were done.
Yeah.
I don't think the racers today have that mindset, at least by and large. I mean, maybe. No, I don't even think Lewis would do it, to be perfectly honest. I don't think any of the drivers would push themselves to that point.
Mm-hmm.
Now, they might say it's because of the team and because, what's the good in and that sort of thing. But that hunger, that sense of, above all else, I need to be in this car and winning. Because, there's, 22 seats on the grid, Formula One seats?
There's only 10.
No, that's right.
Yes.
There's 10 teams.
10 teams, 20.
So there's only 20, because that's right, Manor went. So there's only 20 Formula One seats in the entire world, like race seats. And all these drivers want to be in these seats. When you have one, it's kind of like you should be trying to pry it out my cold, dead fingers before I'll give it up. Again, I'm kind of reminded of Mick Doohan, the MotoGP rider, who was shattered his leg, had to have pins in it and everything like this. He basically turned up on the track, had his cast cut off, and had to be lifted onto his bike to race.
Yeah.
That's the kind of mentality I kind of expect from these drivers.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's right. I'm just saying that's kind of what I kind of expect from them. So, and again, I think if Pascal Wehrlein was in a front-running team, if he was in a Mercedes, if he was in a Ferrari, if he was in a Red Bull, I think he would be like, he might even be saying, he might himself say, I don't think I've got the ability to race, but I think he would go out and see how much he can do.
I think he'll be getting a doctor's note and blaming it all on the doctors.
Possibly, but one of the things that was interesting was Giovinazzi subbing for Sauber here. You can only do 3 races before you're no longer classed as a new driver, which means he can't take place in any of the tests for Ferrari if he does one more race with them.
Ah, so they're hoping, They're hoping
that's the thing, because if he does that last race with Sauber, he won't be eligible to do the tests, the mid-season test, to do the Abu Dhabi test at the end of the year.
Yep.
And that kind of screws up Ferrari's test program as well.
I'm sure there'd be steps in place for that. If Giovinazzi got the third and fourth race, then Sauber will be tailing around and saying, look, Ferrari, we need to sort something out. Verline, I'm afraid you're going to have to share this seat with him.
Possibly, maybe. I mean, again, it's not unprecedented since we've seen... we saw it with the Manor last year, wasn't it? With Javianto and Ocon.
Yeah, yep.
So...
Yep. Oh, well, yeah. So, okay, yeah. I reckon we will see Verline next week.
I think so too. I think there'd be a lot more pressure from Sauber for him to race. They might even turn around to him and say, look, just go as long as you can.
Yeah, they could do. They could do. Yeah.
Because, I mean, that's the other thing as well. If he wants to get his fitness up, the best way to get your fitness up is by doing the thing you need to be doing.
Yeah.
Go and do laps.
Yeah.
That's going to help build it up.
Definitely. Yeah. And I suppose this weekend as well, with the washout, maybe not have been the best weekend to come back anyway.
Yes.
So that might be playing in their minds as well.
It's quite possible, yeah.
Yeah, which makes sense. Okay, cool. Right, well, I'm going to get into free practice, if you don't mind.
By all means. I didn't see any of it.
I'd imagine you were jet setting off somewhere.
Well, no, I'll tell you my story when we get to qualifying, but yes.
Okay. Well, practice one was a stop-start session due to the weather. It was wet weather. It wasn't raining, per se. There was moisture in the air. It was raining at points, and it was raining hard at points. It wasn't monsoon, though. There wasn't.
No, it was visibility more than anything, wasn't it?
It was, and the session was stopped or red flagged, but the timer kept ticking down because it does in free practices, because the helicopter was either A, unable to take off, B, unable to land, or just C, unable to operate. Mm-hmm. Now, the problem is that the hospital is a 35-minute drive in an ambulance with a police escort, and they need, because of the neurosurgeons...
They've got to be 20 minutes to preferred hospital.
Yes, that's correct. Yeah.
And the preferred hospital was in Shanghai, which is more than that, but they had a closer one they could get to, and they said it was borderline with a police escort, but they didn't want to risk it. So.
No, you need a helicopter. And so if you can't operate that, then you don't go racing. And I've got no problems with that whatsoever.
None whatsoever. I am 100% on board with that.
Yeah. People were asking the question, well, they need to sort something out. Do you know what? I'm quite happy for that. Safety, yeah, good. I'm quite happy for them to stop the race, not see anything on track. Don't force the drivers to drive around in something else, because you still need the helicopter. The track is shut. It's not going to happen. But maybe do what Hamilton did in free practice 2, because the weather was so bad, the timer started, but we didn't get a single lap done. And that was because of the helicopter and not being able to take off or operate or land where it... I think the weather was over in Shanghai. It was a lot worse than what it was over the circuit. And so at one point we were entertained on the screen with Lewis throwing caps into the crowd. He jumped the barrier. He ran over the racetrack. I nearly said road. Ran over the racetrack, got on the other side of the barriers on the other side near the crowd, signed some caps and threw them in. Nice. I thought, okay, where's the other 19 drivers doing this? Come on, guys. But they're all sat in there, eating ice creams, I'd imagine. I don't know.
Well, if it was Kimi, almost definitely.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Kimi and his ice creams.
He's probably sat in a rocking chair, rubbing his belly, going, oh, I'm so sick. I've eaten too many.
Ate too much ice cream.
But yeah, I thought what Hamilton did, whether it was spur of the moment or whether it was marketing turned around and said, hey, do you know what? What might be good? Do you know what? I don't care. I thought it was good. It was good just for that very brief interaction with him.
I will say Hamilton seems to have pulled the stick out of his arse.
Maybe an inch.
Yeah. I don't know if it's just that Rosberg's not in the team anymore, and he feels he's got the measure of Bottas. Because I don't think he cares so much if he's fighting toe-to-toe with another team. It's when it's his team that he doesn't like it. And so since Bottas is not chomping at his heels, he just seems a lot happier. So
yeah, I think
he's in our time. Yeah,
he's already measured him up, really, hasn't he?
Yeah.
But yeah, we had that, and we had some very pretty ladies spelling out Vettel in flags. And right, what was happening is you had some ladies come along with massive flags. God knows if there was a massive flag shop on the racetrack somewhere, but there must be a massive flag shop. And they were trying to spell out Vettel, so they're hanging it over the side. And they had German flags, and they had a V on there, and then an E, and a T, and a T, and an E, and they were looking for the L. And someone grabbed an E, and so he had two E's at the end of Vettel's name, no L. And it was quite amusing. They were waving to the crowd and everything. And then obviously on the big screens, they could see themselves on the big screens, and then the cameras would pan over to Vettel, sat in his Ferrari. And he's looking at them going, no, that's not how you spell it. And holding his hand up going, L, I need an L. And so someone took an E, ran it back to the massive flag store, bought an L, and brought it back. And then they hang it up, and then he was like, yes, well done. Thank you very much, guys. And it was good. That was a nice little interaction.
It's Fun with Flags featuring Sebastian Vettel.
Fun with Flags, yeah. But yeah, I'm reminded of a film, Flood, where there's supposed to be a flood in the centre of London. And
it's Robbie Carlyle one, is it?
Yeah, it's really bad, really bad.
Yeah, I know of it.
And everyone's on the rooftops of these buildings in London. And all of a sudden, there must be like a placard building open up and selling all their placards, because everyone on the roof has got placards saying, help us. And hang on.
Well, it's a bit like, when you go to a wrestling match.
Yeah.
They actually they give out those placards as you go to your seats. So same sort of thing. When there's a flood coming, someone goes around, gives everyone their placards, so it'll look good on the camera.
Yeah, that's right.
For the news.
Yeah. And then once all the news is finished, they bring them back in for the next time round.
Yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely. They ship them around the world for the other floods.
It's just the same ones again and again and again.
Yep.
Brilliant.
Telling you, man, it's a conspiracy.
Yeah. Remember the Coventry flood? And there they are in India having a flood. Oh, damn. Practice 3, I didn't see it, but as far as I'm aware, everyone was just setting up their car ready for qualifying because they didn't really have a lot of dry running. So that was their dry running session.
Yeah.
So that was it, really. That was for free practices anyway.
Yeah.
I quite liked it. I quite enjoyed it. I know I didn't see a lot of it, but yeah, I still like the atmosphere that it gives off. Anyway, qualifying. Did you see any qualifying?
Okay, so qualifying actually was taking place while I was boarding the plane to come over here.
Oh, okay.
So I'm sat in my seat with my phone with the live text thing from Autosport.
Yep.
And it's the first time I've ever kind of finger quote watched qualifying just through the text thing. So you just keep getting the lines appearing as stuff happened, and then like big red Giovinazzi's crash, and I'm watching it, and I got just to the beginning because of Giovinazzi's crash, it pushed it back by 10 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm being naughty, so no one from the FAA or anything listen to this, but put your things in your ears. But I've still got my phone on while we're taxiing because I want to see what happens. And I got it all the way until we got to the runway, and I'm like, shit, I got to stop it now. So I stopped it just as we started going down the runway, and it was just saying like Lewis is leaving the pits now. So I had to wait another 7 hours to find out who ended up on pole.
Oh no!
I know.
Oh, you were never going to see the end of that anyway, were you?
Probably not.
Yeah. Okay. Verstappen had engine problems. He had an engine software problem in Q1.
Yeah, I heard about that. Yeah, he was casualty. He was unable to finish.
Yep. What else? Giovinazzi had a nice spin.
He did. That was at the very end of it, wasn't it? Because he kind of brought out the red flag.
Oh, no, sorry. Grosjean had a spin at the last corner, but he didn't hit the wall.
Yes.
He didn't hit the wall. Giovinazzi, at the very end of the session, did hit the wall, but he'd managed to get himself into Q2 by that time anyway.
Yeah.
So he kind of saved himself.
A little bit. He did that. He clocked the wall and ended up on the... Was it on the pit straight?
Yeah, it was on the pit straight, yeah.
And then it was double wave yellows and red... Did they red flag the session or just double wave yellow it?
Right, okay. I think the session finished because it was so close.
The checkered flag had come out and then he dropped it. Yeah, because I know, I think Grosjean and Ocon.
Yep.
They got pinged. No, it was Grosjean and Palmer.
Yes, yeah.
They got pinged for ignoring waved yellows on the circuit.
Yeah.
And in fact, they showed footage showing Palmer actually shifting up past double waved yellows.
Oh, you're joking?
Yeah, seriously.
Because they showed footage of Roman Grosjean going past the crash, and he clearly lifted.
No, yeah, but they showed footage of Palmer doing it, and he was shifting up past double wave yellows.
Oh, what an idiot.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, so anyway, in the end of it, we had Esteban Ocon last in the Force India.
Yes.
Which is a bit of a shame, I suppose. Max Verstappen with his engine problems in 19th with a bit of a shock, but there you go.
I mean, they were rushing to try and get the car sorted, but just... Did he actually... I think he actually went out, but then the session kind of ended, didn't it?
He had engine problems. He went back in. They tried to fix it. It came out. I think he had the problems again. He just didn't have the oomph which was required. So it really scuppered him. Jolyon Palmer was next in 18th. Roman Grosjean was 17th. And Stoffel van Dorn in the McLaren was 16th. So that's your first lot out. Second time round, who we had? We had Giovinazzi. He didn't take any part in Q2 because of his crash. His car was a write-off. He'd written off the whole complete driver's side of that car anyway. So that was gone. Driver's side in England, by the way, guys.
Yes. Yeah. The correct driver's side.
The only side. God damn it. Who else went out? Marcus Ericsson. Fernando Alonso. He said that he was driving like a monster. Was it a monster or was it a beast?
Was it beast, I believe.
An animal. He said he was driving like an animal.
Yes. An animal.
An animal. He was driving like an animal, but he just didn't have the poke in him, really. I don't
think it was the poke in him so much as the poke in the Honda, but yeah.
I think he's strangling that McLaren all the way around.
Yeah.
He's proper hustling that thing around. Who else went out? Kevin Magnussen in the Haas and Carlos Sainz in the Toro Rosso. Lance Stroll got through into Q3, which was good. There was delays to Q2 by about 10-15 minutes because of the damages on the barrier after Giovinazzi hit the barrier. So Q2 was a little bit later than what was advertised anyway.
Yeah.
But Raikkonen popped up at the very last lap, very last second, and put in the fastest lap of the qualifying so far, which was, at that time, a new lap record on that track.
It was, yes. Beating Michael Schumacher's from... What year was it? I saw it written somewhere and now I can't find it.
Are we talking Ferrari years?
Yeah, definitely Ferrari years, yeah. Keep talking amongst yourselves.
Okay, fair enough. I'm going to move on to Q3.
2004. So there you go.
2004. Okay, cool. Right, Q3.
Yes.
I think we should start from the top, actually. Who got pole position and work our way down?
Sure thing.
It was your man, Lewis Hamilton.
Well, hey! I mean, I say well, hey. Still not sure I like Lewis yet. But yes, I won. Woo!
Yes, yeah. I think we should keep scores now. Definitely keep scores.
But I just won one, so...
Yeah, I reckon I'm going to do you by the end of the year.
Okay.
Anyway,
we'll have some series of prizes and forfeits, I think.
Yeah. You can buy me lunch or something like that. There we go.
Fine.
Lewis Hamilton grabbed his pole position by the faintest of margins. No, it wasn't faintest of margin. It was 0.2 of a second from Sebastian Vettel.
It was 0.2, but Vettel, did he mess up his final run?
No, he went quicker in his final run because he got Bottas by the faintest of margins by 1
Yeah, but
thousandth of a
I
second.
read that he chickened on his brakes or something in the final corner.
I think that was the run before.
Okay.
That was his run before. He still had a little bit in play. Yeah, it was definitely his run before, but I thought he got quite a good lap on his second place time.
Mm-hmm.
Coming after him was Bottas, a respectable third, I felt. And Kimi Räikkönen in the Ferrari was fourth. Daniel Ricciardo was fifth. Massa was sixth. Hülkenberg seventh. Sergio Perez eighth. Daniel Kvyat, very quiet in ninth, but he's soldiering on. He's doing well.
He is. He's big turnaround of form from the end of last year.
And Lance Stroll in 10th, which I thought he was doing quite well as well.
I mean, the big standout there for me is the Hulk.
Yeah.
What the fuck is Renault doing in Q3?
Well, he didn't even run he didn't have his final run either. He put his car in 6th place and then jumped out the car while other people were still going round. So he was quite happy where he was. I suppose they're quite happy just being in the top 10. So why try and set a time? You're quite happy in the top 10? Okay, fine. Jump out.
You got where you wanted to be, and jobs are good.
Save a set of tyres. And that's what they did. And I think it worked out quite well for him in that qualifying session.
Yeah, no complaints there. I mean, again, Hülkenberg up in 7th. You've got Alonso in 13th, while Stoffel was down in 16th.
Mm-hmm.
It's just there's a lot to be said for experience with these underperforming cars, I think.
Yeah, do you know what surprised me in the qualifying, though? We had Roman Grosjean in 17th and Magnussen in 12th. Yeah,
I was kind of expecting it to be the reverse, to be honest.
Yeah.
But then again, Grosjean did get kind of caught up in Giovinazzi's
yeah, he did, yeah.
mess.
Yeah.
And he had that spin earlier as well, so that might have been more circumstance over of anything.
Yeah. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, we're giving the benefit of the doubt there.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Renault, there's a massive gulf, I think, of class and skill between Hülkenberg and Palmer. Not that I'm having a go at Palmer. I'm not having a go at Palmer. Not yet,
no. What do we say? We'll wait until we get to the European races before we start bashing him properly?
No, let's give it halfway.
Okay.
Belgium Grand Prix, then we can coat him.
Okay.
So
you got until then to pull your finger out, mate.
Yeah. I don't think that'll work out anyway. So Roman Grosjean and Jolyon Palmer got penalties. Mm-hmm. They got 5-place grid penalties for that.
5 place for ignoring yellow flags during qualifying, and Antonio Giovinazzi had a 5-place penalty because he fucked up his gearbox.
Yeah, and he royally.
Yeah.
Utterly royally, yeah. Okay, so race.
Let's get on to the race.
Okay, so the race, damp conditions.
Yes. Well, it was certainly damp at the beginning, but it wasn't raining as such.
No.
And it was drying considerably while they were sitting on the grid. There was some speculation as to would they go on intermediates or would they start on slicks.
Yeah, there was talk on was it Friday or the Saturday? Friday, wasn't it? About maybe having the race on the Saturday.
Well, yeah, back to what you were saying earlier about the practice. The forecast for Saturday was more favourable than Sunday. Mm-hmm. And because Bahrain is right afterwards, they couldn't push the race to the Monday. So it was like, well, do we do the race on the Saturday? But the FIA just turned around and said no.
Oh, that was their decision, was it?
It was the FIA's decision, yeah. Charlie said no. His information was the cloud was high and the wind speeds would be faster, so there shouldn't be an issue. And they agreed with the local police to provide a police escort to the nearby hospital. So the view was they were fine either way.
Oh, okay. Oh, there you go. Sorted. Once again, they do sit on their hands. That's it. That's what I thought they were going to do anyway.
You did, yes. But this time it was an FIA decision, not FOM.
Right, okay. Right, okay, well, yeah, we had racing. It wasn't, as you said, everyone started on intermediates apart from Carlos Sainz.
Yeah, Carlos Sainz started on, was it Super Softs?
Yes.
Yeah, it was on the Super Softs. Which I think Martin Brundle said, he's a hero either way, but whether or not it works out, to be decided.
Well, should we talk about him and his start?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, okay, let's talk about him and his start, then other people after that.
Yeah.
He was the only person on Super Softs, everyone else around on intermediates. Now, like you say, he could be a hero for doing it, or he could be sat there going, hang on a minute. Something's not right here. Guys, are we all right for doing this?
Well, it was his choice.
Yeah, it's his choice. But the start-finish, where they line up the grid, you've only got one wet patch to get through.
It's underneath the media centre is where the wet patch is.
That was the huge patch. There was two patches, weren't there?
Okay. Yeah.
And I think you have to go through just one patch to get to the first corner. Granted, it was slippery, but everyone else was on the intermediates because, I think I suppose it was that condition, but he had the opportunity to either go to a hero or down to a zero. And
well, apparently, Frank Tost, the guy in charge of Toro Rosso, was dead against it, like called him crazy, and was at the point, he stopped short of ordering him to be on the intermediates, but was like dead against it. But Carlos Sainz effectively begged him to let him start on the softs.
Oh dear, he didn't, did he?
He did.
Jeez. What were you thinking, man? What were you thinking?
Well, I think he was thinking he wanted to finish up with some points, and guess what? Kind of did.
Okay, all right. But yeah, he didn't help himself in the beginning.
Oh no, in the beginning, yeah, he spun and clipped the barrier, and luckily he kind of did it square on, so there was no damage as such.
Well, he didn't get no purchase as he was pulling away from the grid. Everyone went past him.
Everyone did go past him, absolutely, but even so, it was because he didn't. I don't think he pitted at all. Well, he must have pitted at least once, but still. The reason he got the points was just because he made such progress after that spin. By the time the safety car came out, he was well up the bloody order.
Yeah, I'd imagine he had a pit stop during the safety car.
Yeah, but yeah, it was. Ted was saying that after the race, he went up to Tost and said, "I'm never going to let you forget your face on the grid because I got the points." And I'm just like, well, you kind of hit the wall, so he was kind of right as well.
Oh dear, I think he didn't gain the points, he lucked into the points possibly after that mistake. It was a mistake, he had no traction. The only person behind him going into the first corner was Palmer, and he'd started from the pit lane because on the warm-up lap, he darted straight into the pits.
Yeah, he went onto the softs as well, didn't he?
Yeah. And guess what? He spun as well.
Yeah. To be perfectly honest, I think if Verstappen had done it, I think Verstappen could have done it. He did pretty well anyway, but he'd have made it work.
Yeah.
I think drivers that are really good in the tricky conditions would have made it work.
Yeah. So, Sainz, he got into the first corner, dropped it, and then clouted the barrier as he was returning. Because he drove back onto the grass to get back onto the track, and then dinked his car onto the wall.
Yep.
It was a drunk person in a car park kind of accident, wasn't it?
It really was.
Nope.
Yeah.
Nobody saw that. It's not on CCTV, is it?
It'll buff out. It's fine.
I'll just leave a note on here, and on the note, I'm saying I'm just leaving you a note.
Someone saw me, so I'm leaving a note.
Yeah, exactly. Ta-da! So yeah, he did that, but like you say, he ended up in the points, so it's not all that bad. I think he redeemed himself because of that. So
yeah, if he hadn't, he definitely would never have heard the end of it.
No, that's right. Yeah. What else happened?
Vettel.
Yes, please. Yeah, go on. Okay, talk us through what Vettel did.
Well, apparently now you don't have to actually park in your grid slot anymore.
He was at least half a car's width across.
He was effectively straddling his grid slot.
Mm.
And the FIA pinged him on this, like they said they're going to investigate it, but there's not actually a regulation about this apparently.
Oh Jesus!
Yeah, so now you've got Christian Horner wanting clarification about it, because this all kind of came about last year in a race when Ricciardo wanted to be just outside of his grid slot because there was water on the white lines and he was worried about wheel spin, so the FIA said that's fine. But even then, he was only a little bit. But, I'm looking at a picture here of Vettel on the on the grid, and, he looks like his rear wheel is in line with Kimi's nose.
Yeah. That's not good, is it?
It's not good, and, what next? Is he just going to move all the way across and... hang on, I didn't actually post a picture there. Is he just going to move across and literally be wheel to wheel with Hamilton?
Well, there has to be a rule for this. I'm not being funny, but there are white lines or there are grid marks.
The sports regulations do not state that the driver must form exactly within the white lines. Only they must stop within their respective grid positions.
So, going by that, you could hang half a wheel in your box.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez. I give up. That's it. The table's going over.
Good night, everybody. That's the Grand Prix Podcast. We hope you've enjoyed listening to it.
Yeah. But you got the boxes. I understand asking for permission because if there's pools of water, do you mind me just getting out the way of the pool of water? But then again, isn't that the luck of the draw when you qualify?
If that's the case, then it might be a case of fine. Everyone down on the inside can come out a bit or something. But I don't know. If I was Charlie, I'd have made him go around again.
Yeah, I'm surprised he didn't. We've had cars out of position before. The most famous one I can think of is Fisichella when he missed his box. He got on the wrong side of the grid. He just straddled across in the middle. Now, if he was in line with his box, then that would have been all right. I don't know. I get the reason because of puddles, etc., but I don't like that Vettel did that.
Especially not unilaterally. He just chose to do it unilaterally. There you go.
Yeah. I don't know. So you would have made him go around again and formed him up again?
Well, if I had my choice, I'd have stood someone in front of Vettel, made them all go, and then let Vettel go at the end.
Ooh, that's nasty.
And that's not a thing against Vettel, and I'm glad we had a good race out of him, but it's just like, that's cheeky as fuck.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think I would have put him to the back of the grid. Maybe line him up again, or just have a word with him and say, look, come on, man. Half a width? No, that's not on. That's not on at all, because you're blocking the cars on the second row from that, aren't you? Straight away, you've just blocked anyone with a good start going up in between first and second.
Yeah.
That's already covered that off.
It's that, and again, it's just... I don't mind if you're in your grid slot and you're effectively pointing across to the other guy. that's fine. But be in your bloody grid slot.
Yeah, sometimes I don't even like when people point in that direction.
It's because you're British.
Yeah, it's the rules, isn't it?
It's the queuing up thing again, isn't it?
There's
rules.
A queue.
There are rules.
And we will all abide by these rules.
If you do not, we will merely roll our eyes, tut, and grumble under our breaths.
Yeah.
So you've been warned.
You won't hear about it. That would just be it. That is our mode of attack, isn't it? A tut.
It's just. You don't want to mess with the British.
Vettel was sat in his Ferrari going, my engine's ticking. No, it's just the British just tutting at you. Oh, dear. Okay, so, yeah, he was out of position. Was there any other incidents in the first corner or the first lap that I can think of?
Stroll did something, didn't he?
Oh, he got hit by Perez.
There you go.
He got really proper T-boned by Perez, but I think Perez had room to go up there. I think it was
the door was wide open.
Yeah.
He was at least, his front wheel was at least where the side pods were, effectively. And Stroll just closed the door because he just wasn't really paying attention, to be perfectly honest.
Yeah.
Again, I just think that comes from lack of experience more than anything else.
Yeah.
Caught Perez's on front wing, rode over it, and then drove into the gravel, and that was that.
Yeah. And then lap 4, we had... Because I feel it was a really good start from everyone. It was quite tight and exciting what we were getting.
It was pretty clean, yeah, for the most part.
But once again, you had you had Lewis ripping off and Vettel ripping off as well.
Oh,
and
yeah.
they've got the legs on everyone there, haven't they?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. They were just... And we're gone.
Yeah. And then Giovinazzi ended up, do you know what? I've had enough. 4 laps in, that'll do me. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Just hit a puddle.
Well, to go from 0 to 0 in 2 weeks, basically.
Yeah, well done. That is such a feat, I feel.
Yeah.
But yeah, he speared off exit stage right, or stage left, wasn't it? He just decided, no, that is enough.
Well, it was weird because he was following Ericsson, and Ericsson ran wide, made a mistake, but then went on down, and then Giovinazzi's following behind him and just drops it on the water and goes straight into the wall. Because when we were looking at the figure, we were like going, oh, he's gone off in a weird place. What's happened? No, wait, he's recovered. What happened? And then the other Sauber comes through and does it. It's just like, oh.
It's like a magician. Look, watch this hand, watch this hand, watch this hand. Oh, there we go. There's the magic trick there in the other hand. Yeah, so he wrote off the front of the car again. Well done. Which brought out...
Made a mess.
No, it was Stroll that brought out the virtual safety car.
Stroll brought out the virtual safety car, yeah, and we saw quite a few people diving into the pits. I think Vettel did it then.
Yeah, including Vettel, yeah.
Vettel, but the McLarens both stayed out. Kimi stayed out. Verstappen was already fucking carving through the field.
Yeah, wasn't he up to 9th or something?
Yeah, he is like a hot knife through butter.
Oh, that kid is just cream. He really is. He's just... I don't want to say future world champion because that's just too obvious to say that, but he's just...
The question is just how many at this point.
Yeah, he's... Do you know what? I don't think it matters how many. I think it's just the class of how you do it.
Yeah. He's
just cream. And I think if he got in a car right up the sharp end, people will be worried. It's the same as other people were worried when Hamilton turned up.
Yeah.
Like your Alonso's turned around and say, hang on, I'm a 2 times world champion. What are you doing? Shouldn't be doing this. And yeah, I think if you put him up the proper sharp end with a decent car, then yeah, no stopping him.
Yeah. Yeah, he was just gone. But Giovinazzi made a crash. We had a proper safety car this time.
Yep.
And again, Mercedes, I don't know if they lucked into it or what, but they were just in a position where they could pit Hamilton before he picked up the safety car, I think it was. And he had enough time to get in, pit, get out, and not lose anything. He had track position the entire time.
Yeah, I think there was a bit of confusion as well because the they were told to go down the pit lane as well.
Yeah, they had to go down the pit lane because the straight was blocked, obviously.
Yeah, but they did a good job of clearing that up, I felt.
They did. I still think the safety car might have been out for a couple of laps longer than it maybe needed to have been. But still, for the most part, they got it done. There was a little bit of confusion with Ricciardo. Ted thought he'd pitted on intermediates, but he hadn't. He'd not pitted, he'd just been through the pit lane, and then when he did it again, he got his super softs on.
Ah, that's right, yeah.
Because the computer just registers when you enter the pit lane, not whether or not you actually have a stop. So.
Yeah. Hang on, Verstappen had a nice move on Ricciardo. I know that for a second. He went, was it this the one round the outside, or was it a dart down the... He did a couple of moves on him. Ricciardo was slowing him up at some point.
Yeah, I think he did it on the inside, but that was a little bit later on, I think.
Yeah. During the safety car and the virtual safety car, Hulkenberg was amazing. He managed to pick up a 5-second penalty for overtaking under the virtual safety car.
Yep.
And to top it off, he got a 10-second penalty for overtaking under the safety car.
Yep. 15 seconds.
Genius. Well done, that man.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, yeah. He was a hero in qualifying, but the race did not go well for the Hulk.
No.
At all. Did we mention Bottas spinning out of a safety car?
No, we haven't mentioned that, no. I didn't see that, though.
I did see it at the very top of the screen, but Brundle and Crofty didn't see it because they didn't mention it until Ted pointed it out to him.
Oh, okay. But
yeah, he was just warming his tyres. He just dropped it, did a spin, and ended up down in, I think, 12th. That's it. He dropped him down to 12th.
Yeah.
And Toto Wolff later called this amateurish.
That's not good.
That's not good. When Toto Wolff's calling out your driver, that's yeah.
What, 2 races into your career at Mercedes, and he was your manager as well?
Whoops, wasn't a happy bunny there.
That's not good at all, man. That ain't good at all. Oh, jeez. So possibly a seat going at Mercedes by the end of this season.
Maybe so. Who knows?
Yeah. Well, I think he'll come good. I think. Do you reckon he'll win a race this season?
Oh God, yeah. He will. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, he's going to win a race. The question is he going to win a race against Hamilton?
Okay. So he'll be picking up the crumbs after.
I think if he's going to win a race, it's probably going to be because Hamilton's having a bad day.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think if a Mercedes is the car to be in, Hamilton is going to be the one winning with Mercedes.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, unless Bottas helps Hamilton out during the championship, Hamilton might let him win one towards the very end of the season if he's already wrapped it up.
Hamilton doesn't strike me as that sort of a driver.
Yeah, he wants to do records, doesn't he?
No. If once he's won the championship, he don't give a fuck. And at that point, if he's in a position to win, he's going to take a win.
Mm.
But if he's not, he's just whatever.
Okay, I'd like to think that he would help him out, but I'm going to say it now. I don't think Bottas will win one this season.
Make a note. Stick it on the paper.
Okay, right, I'm writing it down now. Bottas not to win by Elton.
8-9.
Not to win. There we go. It's written down. That is now official. It is in pencil and cannot be rubbed out ever.
Ever.
Okay. One thing I did want to talk about this race.
Yes.
DRS.
Yes.
DRS proved ineffective in some situations.
It didn't seem to work very well.
Not really, no. Not to the point where it was closing people up. I just didn't feel it worked at all. There was no gain on it whatsoever.
No, you saw numerous instances where, I mean, especially with like you had Red Bull following Red Bull or Ferrari following Ferrari.
Mm-hmm.
So these are equally matched cars in every respect. DRS is open. He ain't getting any closer.
No. There was a couple of laps where you had Ricciardo and then the two Ferraris following him.
Yeah.
And numerous times where I think Kimi was struggling with power at some points. He had power issues coming out of turn 12, I think it was. And he'd either be in DRS of Ricciardo and it wouldn't get him anywhere near him, or he'd be out of DRS and it still would be the same sort of gap by the end of the straight. Plus you had Vettel with the DRS all the time and he wasn't getting anywhere near Kimi either.
No.
So,
the thing is, though, even with DRS being ineffective, we still had a good race. At least for the first few laps, there was a lot going on.
Well, yeah. The race settled into a bit of a stroll after that, didn't it?
Yeah, I mean, basically, after about the first third was done, it kind of, like you said, a lull for a fair bit.
Yeah, there was a couple of sweet moves, though. Grosjean did a wicked move on Massa on the outside of turn 1.
Yeah.
And that was the long way round, all the way round. He made it even wider than what he needed to as well. And he just got purchased and just lost him. It was brilliant. Such a good move.
It was great. We also had a really opportunistic move from one Mr. S. Vettel.
Uh-huh.
On one Mr. K. Raikkonen, proving that once Vettel stopped dragging War and Peace around with him to narrate, his cars just seems to have gotten a lot faster.
Yeah. But yeah, he took a dart down him, didn't he? Kimi almost defended it because it wasn't a radio call from the team saying let Vettel pass. It was a proper pass for position, wasn't it?
It was, yeah, absolutely. It was, and again, it wasn't a team order sort of thing. He saw an opportunity and he took it.
Mm.
So, that was pretty good.
Yep. I'm trying to think of anyone else as well because
have we mentioned Verstappen and Ricciardo?
No, go for it.
Well, I mean, saying that was the other one as well. Verstappen was on a charge all the way from the back of the grid, got up to Ricciardo and dived around him. Mm. It was lunged up the inside, wasn't it? Because, he passed both of Ferraris first and then got to Ricciardo.
Yep.
And then got past. And Ricciardo was a bit of a roadblock. Apparently, he had a setting that was off because once he fixed that, he kind of came alive again. But it was a bit too late in the day for them to do anything about it then.
Right. You mentioned Vettel's lunge on Raikkonen. He also had a lunge on Ricciardo as well.
He did, yes.
The lap after. And then they bumped tyres.
Yeah, again, it was kind of square on, but it was a beautiful bit of racing from the pair of them.
Yeah.
Vettel lined it up beautifully. Ricciardo knew he was there. Swept left, went around a corner, but Vettel then had position. They touched briefly, and it kind of just threw Ricciardo off to the side, and he dived back in. But the deed was done at that point.
Yeah. I don't think it was malice or anything like that.
No, not malice at all. Again, it was respect from two drivers racing very hard with each other. It's nice. I don't know if it's a facet of these cars now or just luck, but they seem a bit sturdy where you can have a little bit of wheel to wheel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe they haven't got used to the width yet, and they were still in the frame of mind of last year's cars, and so maybe they wouldn't have touched last year.
Yeah, maybe so.
That could be something to do with it, but it was just good to see proper wheel-to-wheel action, and Vettel having to really, really work to get down the inside of cars.
Yeah,
he was really on it as well, and committed, and that's what I felt was missing last year. As you said, War and Peace was trailing behind him like a just married sign, wasn't it?
Yeah, exactly. He was just going through his library as he drove around.
Yeah. But that was good. But then the race really came down to the last 4 laps. You had Hamilton out front, Vettel in second, and Ricciardo and Verstappen fighting for third position.
Mm-hmm.
and they were coming up behind Grosjean.
Yes.
And Grosjean was obviously lapped at that time, but he was just enough ahead to stay out of the blue flags, and you got a little bit of warm piece.
1.8 seconds, I believe it was.
Yeah.
He was outside of DRS zone as well. And yeah, you just had, like you said, Verstappen must have found the abridged version of Vettel's reading collection. Because, I mean,
he found the dog-eared version of it.
Yeah. I mean, I'm a big fan of Verstappen. I think he's great. But nothing's going to turn me off a driver quicker by listening to them moan on the radio.
Yeah.
It's just, it's unattractive. I've said it there, okay? No one wants to hear it.
But do you know what the opposite of the unattractive moaning on the radio is?
That would be anything coming from the mouths of one Kimi Raikkonen and Fernando Alonso.
Thank you very much, yeah. Yeah. Alonso was brilliant.
Oh, Alonso. Look, serious, real talk for a second. Alonso wants to be out of that car so desperately hard. He is driving better than ever before. I reckon if you put Fernando Alonso right now in any car up to maybe a Force India, he'd be leading the World Championship driving how he is right now.
He's the Gordon Ramsay of motor racing, isn't he?
He's driving the tits off that car.
Yeah. Didn't they tell him to drink? They told him, I think it was to drink. And he went, look, I'm concentrating on everything else. I don't need you to tell me to drink.
Well, it was when Sainz went by him, wasn't it? And Sainz was quicker down the straights. He comes down and goes, well, I'm quicker in the corners.
Yeah.
I mean, the fact he was running into points up until the car broke down, which was, what lap was that? He got a good...
He did 33 laps.
So he got over half distance in the points in a McLaren.
Yeah.
I mean, taking away from the fact that Van Droon broke down as well, he was effectively running at the back of the grid. And the thing is, we know that when Button was there, he was maybe not as good as Alonso, but he was certainly usually like 1 or 2 places apart from him.
Mm.
I got to say, if Button was in that car with him and motivated like Alonso seems to be, I think, on the evidence I've seen of 2 races so far, they made a mistake getting rid of Button.
I don't think they got rid of Button. I think it was mutual.
You think? Oh yeah, it was mutual. But my point is, I think Button. I think they'd have more opportunities for points if the cars were able to finish.
Yeah,
is the big caveat to put on there.
Yeah.
But just listening to Alonso on the radio was a delight.
I don't want him to go. There's a part of me that doesn't want McLaren to get any better, just so I can hear him, because I think he's brilliant. I really do.
Oh, we need to get Kimi in there with him.
Oh, he wouldn't last 2 races in that McLaren. He'd go, no, do you know what? It's not worth this shit.
Fuck it, I'm going to go and buy an ice cream truck. Just drive around in that.
I think he'd rather drive in an ice cream truck. Actually, that might be more reliable.
Oh, definitely. Without a doubt.
They could serve Whams and the Clippos maybe, and 99s and Magnums, and still finish ahead of McLarens at the moment. Jeez. But yeah, it was good. Okay, the situation with Grosjean and the blue flags, because I know you're not a fan of blue flags.
I hate blue flags.
I was enjoying the racing between Daniel and Max. I thought that was really good to watch.
Yes.
I liked the little appetizer of Grosjean being there and just too far out. Every now and again, he'd get some blue flags or the blue lights, and then he'd pull away a little bit more and drop out of that zone. And I liked that little dice that it was annoying Max.
It was.
And he was moaning about turbulence, but hang on, Daniel has got just as
more
much, if not more, turbulence off of your car. So what gives? So I just liked it. I thought it was quite amusing to watch them and to listen to that as well.
It was amusing, but at the end of the day, if there was no blue flags, it would still be the same. He just wouldn't have been able complaining about the guy being in front of him.
Yeah, that's true, yeah. So should we run down the top 10 then?
I'm trying to think, is there anything else worth mentioning? Just having a quick look. Well,
while you're looking at that, I'll just go through the breakdowns. We had Lance Stroll, who went out after a collision on the first lap. Giovinazzi, he had his accident, which brought out the safety car. Stoffel Van Dorn in the McLaren had fuel pressure problems. Daniel Kvyat, which we just saw a little photo of him parked up in a garage somewhere. Hydraulic problems. And Fernando Alonso, he had drive shaft problems.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything. I mean, a rather uninspiring race from certain individuals. Massa, bit of a mess, to be honest, was nowhere.
Yeah.
Hulkenberg went from a hero in quali to a bit of a zero, ending up just ahead of Palmer. Although I think he still finished ahead of Palmer because Palmer was more than 15 seconds behind him.
Yeah.
Force India did well, but I mean we'll touch on them when we do the. Let's just do the count back.
Okay, right. Lewis Hamilton wins.
He did.
It is his 54th career win.
And his third Grand Slam. He had pole, the win, and a fastest lap.
Oh, I was unaware of that.
And to be perfectly honest, untouchable all weekend, really. He had that race well and truly in hand.
I feel he was just out of reach. Ever so slightly out of reach from everyone else.
He wasn't particularly pushing that hard. He got to where he needed to be, got a comfortable board and just sat on that.
Yeah.
And he seemed a lot calmer on the radio as well. You know, like when they were saying, do you think we can get to the end of his tyres? And he was like, I think we can.
Yeah.
Obviously when was it Verstappen pitted? Yeah, when Verstappen pitted, he kind of forced everyone who was going on a one-stop to do a two-stop. But again, the Mercedes had such pace, it didn't really matter. So
yeah, that's right. But it was good. What I'm enjoying at the moment, because Sebastian Vettel was second, and these two guys, because the media is building out to be the championship between Hamilton and Vettel, which it is shaping up to be at the moment.
Yes.
And we're only two races into this season. We've got a long way to go, so it might not go that way. But they're all very pally at the moment, aren't they? They're all
at the moment they're very, very pally. But you know who else was very, very pally at the beginning?
Go on.
Well, Rosberg and Hamilton.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah. 3 years ago, that was very, very pally, wasn't it? Oh yeah, my best mate.
It was.
I've known him for so long, and we can have such a good time in this team, and blah 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 blah. By the way, Nico, you're not allowed to pass Hamilton because we need him to win in the Mercedes. Thank you very much. What? You fucking what? No. Oh dear. Anyway, Sebastian Vettel second. Max Verstappen made it to the podium after starting 17th or
17th. He got up to the podium. Yeah, absolutely.
Excellent drive. Amazing drive.
A driver of the day, he was declared.
Yep. Daniel Ricciardo fourth.
Like we said, Ricciardo had some setting problem apparently, but by the time he figured it out, it was too late. So.
What was that? The Multi-21 setting?
No, the Multi-21 is for Webber and Sebastian. His would be the Multi 333, wouldn't it?
333, wouldn't it? Yeah. Kimi Räikkönen was fifth. Valtteri Bottas, after his spin, made it up to sixth. So, quietly made some points up there. Carlos Sainz, after his terrible spin at the very beginning, crashing into something and leaving a note on a parked car, was in seventh. Magnussen, eighth in the Haas.
Yeah. Not bad going there.
No, that's very respectable. And then came the Force Indias of Perez and Ocon in 9th and 10th position.
Yeah, something Ted was saying. Apparently, Force India have got a discrepancy between what their simulator is saying and what their car is doing, which makes it very hard for them to plan upgrades at the minute.
Oh, really?
Well, because everything's kind of computer modeled.
Yeah.
What they want is a correlation between the simulator and the car. So simulator says this should happen. They want the car to do that. That's not happening at the minute. So they need to understand where the discrepancy is. But they were very happy to get double points finish despite that because, again, their car's not where they want it to be yet.
Yeah. Okay, fair enough. I didn't even hear about that.
Oh, well, got to listen to the notebook.
I know I've missed the notebook. It was quite busy this weekend. Yes. There's only so much I can get away with watching, and sometimes you have to pull the trigger and
you got to choose your battles.
Yes, yeah. And I'd rather not fight any battles really, because I'm a wimp and a scaredy cat as well.
Yes.
Okay, drivers' standings. At the moment, we have Sebastian Vettel and Lewis Hamilton joint first on 43 points.
Yep.
After that, we have Max Verstappen in third place with 25 points, Valtteri Bottas with 23 points in fourth position, and Kimi Räikkönen in fifth in 22 points. In the constructors, we have Mercedes, 66 points. They're leading the championship at the moment. They've just leapfrogged Ferrari from last race, who have dropped down to second with 65 points. Red Bull are in third with 37 points. Toro Rosso, surprisingly, in fourth with 12 points. And Force India have got 10 points in fifth.
Nice.
So, pretty good.
It is. It's interesting, yes. I definitely preferred the Chinese Grand Prix over the Australian one.
Yeah. Yes, I think it was more entertaining.
And I also think it's more representative of where the season is at the minute, where the cars are, effectively.
Yeah. Good.
And the only other observation I really have to make is I think we're now in a situation where Mercedes and Ferrari have got a distinct lead driver and a distinct second.
Yes.
Whereas I think Red Bull, and I have no doubt Red Bull will be in the mix, probably no later than Spain, but they're the ones that are going to have to manage expectations within the team.
Yeah, they're going to be fighting over points, and the drivers are going to lose points because of both wanting to be number one.
Exactly.
And there might become a point where they have to choose. And I think we've seen Max, once he's ahead, won't let anyone past him, which is just the driver in him. Whereas Daniel has helped out when he had Kvyat racing with him. He let Kvyat through, and then Kvyat let him back through, and it was a team effort.
Yeah.
And I don't see that happening with these two guys.
No. It's going to be fun to see, though.
Oh, yeah, bring it on. I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to the sparks flying and the carbon fibre shattered everywhere. That's going to be excellent. Okay, right, I'm going to get on to the predictions, if you don't mind.
Absolutely.
Okay, this race, you predicted Hamilton on pole position. So, that is a point for you, because I'm keeping tallies now. One point for you.
Giggity.
I predicted Bottas. I was nowhere near. For the race, you predicted Hamilton. Well done.
2 for 2.
Yeah, I predicted Verstappen because I thought it was going to be a bit of a topsy-turvy race. So, I'm not going to give myself a point because that would be unfair, but I got very close and it was a topsy-turvy race.
It was.
So, there is something in there. I had it in my water, so that was good. I feel like I'm getting better. In our third column, we had who would place in 10th position. Now, how do you want to play this? Is this nearest the pin? Or
no, because who was in 10th?
Ocon.
Yeah, but I'm saying the question is who was in 10th.
Okay, well...
You're either in 10th or you're not.
Please let this be nearest the pin.
No.
God fucking damn it. Okay, 10th position. You went for Alonso. Unfortunately, he broke down.
Yes, but he was in the top 10 at the time.
He was in the top 10 at the time, but rules is rules. He broke down.
Rules is rules, yes. And where are you without rules? chaos.
Exactly, yes. Well, we're 2 meters across from our grid position. That's where we are without
Yeah,
rules.
exactly. We're not having that.
Yeah. I went for Magnussen in 10th. Now, he finished 8th, so I'm gonna chalk that up as a moral victory.
Okay.
That is.
Well,
I won't take
good
a
on you
point.
there on your moral victory.
Yeah, I won't take the point, but I got nearest the pin, so there we go. Okay, so that's how that pans out. Okay, where are we next week? Because it's only a week
we're
in
off
between.
to Bahrain. Yes, just a week away.
The Chinese Grand Prix.
Yes. Would you like to know some stats from it?
Yeah, please, if you wouldn't mind.
Okay, so 2016 race, pole position went to Lewis Hamilton. The podium was Rosberg from Kimi from Hamilton, with the fastest lap from Rosberg. In all-time stats, the most wins was Fernando Alonso with 3. 3 drivers have had 2 wins. They are Felipe Massa, Sebastian Vettel, and Lewis Hamilton. So, constructors, Ferrari's had 4 wins, Mercedes has had 3, and Red Bull and Renault have both had 2.
Okay. This is the one that Vettel blew up last year, wasn't it?
I think so.
He blew up going to the grid.
Yes.
I'm sure of it.
I'm looking now. Where are you, Vettel?
This is from last year.
Yeah, I'm just looking for last year's race report, see if I can find out what happened.
Okay, while you're doing that, I think I'm going to choose first.
Yeah, he stopped on the track during the warm-up lap with an engine failure.
There we go. Okay. Pole position. Who will we go for pole position? I fancy a Ferrari. I'm going to put Vettel down as pole position. Who do you want for pole position for next race?
Well, I was going to go with Vettel as well, but since you've done that, shake my fish. Yeah, I mean, I'm going to say I think Vettel will do it, but since I want to be someone other than that, I'm going to go with Hamilton, because I really think it's down to one of those two.
Okay, and since I don't want to tread on your toes, you won this race, so I think it's only fair that you go first in choosing the race winner.
No, I chose first last time, so I think you should choose first this time.
Oh, okay. So. Who's gonna win? Oh, damn. I reckon Vettel.
Yeah?
I reckon Vettel. Yeah, okay. Go on then. Who do you want?
Who do I want? Or who do I think?
They're massive differences.
They're massive differences.
This is who I think, and pretty much who I want as well.
Oh, you know what? I'm gonna throw the dice a bit, mix things up a notch. I'm going to go with Ricciardo.
Oh, nice. Okay. So you got Hamilton and Ricciardo. I got Vettel. Okay. What do you want in the third column?
The third column. You know, I think we need to start having people write in with suggestions for the third columns. They should tweet us.
Yeah, okay. But if people want to tweet us, we're at Grand Prix Pod. So you can drop it down there if you wish.
Yes. Third column. Shall we have... Who's going to be in the second Sauber?
Yeah, because that's still up for debate at the moment, isn't it?
It is a bit. No, let's not do that one.
Drivers on lead lap at the end of the race?
No, I think we want to... Because we're not having a pop at him.
Oh.
But I think we should say who's going to be... Who's the back of... Who qualifies last?
Who qualifies last?
Who qualifies at the bottom of the grid?
Okay, just to confirm this, is this the person who starts the race in last position?
No, qualifies last. So grid penalties notwithstanding.
Okay, no grid penalties. Who comes last in Q1?
Yes.
Okay, so Q1, okay. Okay. Go on, I'll let you go first on that.
Oh, I'm going with Palmer.
Oh, I knew it. Okay, you got Palmer. I am going to go for... Oh, I don't know. Oh, man, you've got the money shot there, haven't you? God damn it. Ain't it bad that I can't think of anyone else that's going to start last?
Well, last year, Q1 was Pascal Wehrlein in the Manor.
Yeah.
Marcus Ericsson in the Sauber. Sergio Perez in the Force India. Kevin Magnussen in the Renault. Jolyon Palmer in the Renault. Haryanto in the Manor. And then Felipe Nasser in the Sauber.
I'm going to go Grosjean.
Yeah?
Yeah, I'm throwing the dice on that one.
Oh, absolutely. Well, yeah. And just so we're clear, as you said, it qualifies last.
Yeah.
So non-running doesn't count.
Uh-huh.
And grid penalties don't count. It's the slowest time set.
Yep. I'm going for Grosjean. I think something might happen.
Okay.
Yeah, it's all written down in pencil, so that, once again, cannot be rubbed out until...
So it is written, so it shall be.
It is. It is in like tablet form, shall we say.
Yes.
So, yeah, looking forward to it. Can I just get your thoughts on the season so far? I know we're only 2 races in. How's it going for you?
So far, so good, I suppose. Again, only 2 races in, but I like the look of the cars on the grid. I like that this whole we can't pass bullshit seems to be very driver-specific, shall we say.
Mm-hmm.
I.e., if a driver can pass, he can get past. I like that we've got 2 strong contenders from different teams at the sharp end, which is great. Hopefully we'll have a third joining them soon. Massive, massive respect for Fernando Alonso.
Mm-hmm.
All in all, though, pretty happy.
Good. I'm
Yourself?
glad to hear that. Myself, it's enticing, the fight between Ferrari and Mercedes. I hope that it happens. I hope it doesn't just fizzle out. I want to see these drivers battling for position in the race and also in the championship as well.
Yes.
So that's what I'm looking forward to. Once again, Alonso is doing a sterling job in that McLaren. Cannot give that man enough love at the moment.
So let me ask you a question. So I think it's fairly clear he wants out of that McLaren.
Yep.
Where do you think he wants to go? Or where do you think he can go?
What, in the Formula One grid?
Well, basically, something Ted was saying in the notebook was he's already offered Mercedes in the past to drive for free, and they've declined.
Yeah.
Dave said they won't have Alonso and Hamilton in the same team. So Bottas is on a 1-year contract. He's going.
Mm-hmm.
Kimi, I think his days are numbered because, he's basically been called to the principal's office after the race just gone.
Yeah, I think he was, yeah.
I think his days are Ferrari are numbered as well.
Yep.
And as we've said, you've got 2 very, very tough drivers in Red Bull. I don't think Red Bull would go outside the family to bring someone in, but still, potentially, Red Bull might be in a situation where they have to let one of their drivers go somewhere else for peace and harmony. But, so if you're Fernando Alonso, where do you want to go? Where can you go?
He can go back to Ferrari.
Yeah?
I've got no worries about that whatsoever. I think he needed to get away. He needed to break away from it because it was getting stagnant. He'd done as much as he could there, and then it got stagnant. He brought them to the brink of winning a title a couple of times. I don't think he could do more for him. But I think he's...
I just don't see him playing well with Vettel.
I see him playing better with Vettel than with Hamilton.
I think Hamilton would have more respect for Alonso now having been in the position Alonso was.
Yeah.
I think he would. I think a lot of the problem in 2007 was there was no respect either way. Whereas we've seen Hamilton alongside Button equal respect. They both got on fine. And I think now Hamilton's won 3 championships. I think Alonso would respect Hamilton. I think Hamilton and Alonso could function alongside each other.
Yeah. Yeah. I still feel Ferrari would be the first choice for me to put him in, but I would love to see him in the Mercedes. I don't see any reason why not to put him in the Mercedes.
Yeah.
I feel he's deserved it. He deserves one last crack at a title.
Oh, God, yeah. It's the Rocky moment now, isn't it?
It is, yeah. Absolutely, definitely, yeah. So I feel he deserves at least one more year in a top team fighting for wins and championships.
Absolutely. Can you imagine a Hamilton, Alonso, Vettel fight over a season?
Yeah, that'd be amazing.
Oh, so good.
Absolutely amazing. So
ideally in 3 different cars, but we'll take what we can.
Yeah. I'm just going to take it, whatever we're given. So good. Okay, so are you going to be around for the Bahrain Grand Prix?
Well, let's see. Next Sunday, potentially on the Monday, so we could do this again.
Okay, cool. That's good. So we hopefully, I know we put a little disclaimer at the end of last podcast just in case that we couldn't record this. So we are a day late, but that's okay. We're still there. So fingers crossed we may be around for the Bahrain Grand Prix.
We'll definitely be around and get one out that week. It's just, I'm not that anyone cares. I'm coming back from DC back up to New York on the Monday. So It's just what time do I get back?
Right. Okay, cool. All right then.
Yeah.
Well, we will be recording next time round.
Yes.
So thank you very much to everyone who's listened. Thank you to everyone who's given us reviews everywhere. Please spread the word. We know that we do have listeners out there, so thank you very much to everyone who's listening, to people who are downloading. We really, really do appreciate it, and we really do hope that you're enjoying what we're putting out here. We're just 2 fans that like to talk about this sort of stuff and drop the odd swear. So if we have dropped a swear, apologies.
Yeah, I was going to say,
you
need to do your disclaimer now, but the preceding podcast may have contained foul language.
Yes. If you did hear swears, oh well, never mind. Maybe not listen next time. But if you did like it, then please carry on, subscribe, and join us throughout this whole season. And we will endeavour to bring you reports straight away after the race. So until next time, I suppose. Thank you very much. I've been Elton. This has been Andy, and we'll. Oh no! Hang on. Plugs.
Back on scratch.
Yeah, there we go. Have you got any other shows that you need to plug before I wrap this up for a second time?
Oh, nah. Do it next time.
Oh, come on. I've just brought the bus to a halt.
Go
listen to Space Jury. Go listen to the
Space Doc Jury
podcast.
Which is Space... just look us up on Facebook, Space Doc Jury. We actually just released our 100th spaceship episode. So, yes, we did the big 3 we swore we'd never do, being the Enterprise, the TARDIS, and the Millennium Falcon.
Yeah, and infinity is a number.
It is not a fucking number. It is a mathematical concept.
Oh, dear. The fun that we had explaining that, or talking about that last time in the pub.
Yes, and it's pronounced executor.
Hello? What? I think you went through a tunnel there.
Yeah, I'm sure I did.
Yeah. Can I also plug the Question Podcast, which is the question... is it questionpodcast.com? Or I think it is questionpodcast.com, because you are recording in the questionpodcast.com towers at the moment.
I am in Question Podcast Studios, yes. It was a bit like Indiana Jones. I had to kind of, go through the ruins. There was cobwebs everywhere.
Yeah.
To kind of brush them aside. I got a flaming torch, but... I made it in eventually, and then I found the fabled microphone sitting there. I had to stand with a bag of sand, kind of judge the weight.
Jehovah starts with an I.
Yes. 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 I've forgotten my Charlemagne.
Anyway, yeah, so listen to the Question Podcast. Listen to the Black Dog Podcast, which I am the fourth chair on. It's a movie review show. Listen to Shonky Lab, which I am also part of. Listen to the Band of Brothers Podcast. Listen to the Witlist for the Defence. Listen to the Hippo Bobs. Listen to everything that we are related to. And you can find all that in iTunes and other places. So please pop along and let them know that we sent you as well. So until next time, again, I've been Andy. I've been Elton.
I've been Elton.
And yeah, we'll see you for the Bahrain Grand Prix. Until then, bye-bye.
Bar weep, grana weep, mini bomb.
I hate you.